It's Lucy and Jeff going for walks and talk about banksters and Bitcoin and the apocalypse and stuff. It's Lucy and Jeff and tacos and kisses. How you doing today, Lucy? Oh, pretty good. Just enjoying the nice warm weather, Greta.
How dare you?
Yeah, nice and warm out. And go for our walk. It's our second walk of the day, and then we'll get some tacos, I hope, and I'll give everyone kisses. Beautiful day again, of course, in Acapulco, except for one day. October 25th, when it was hit by a weather weapon, but everything's pretty much regrowing here. Everything's pretty much recovered, which is actually pretty amazing when you consider a Cat 5 hurricane hitting a place and no one knew it was coming. People still don't understand how insane that is. Like, if Miami, no one there, everyone went to sleep at 10 at night, or I guess some people sleep later. I sleep at 9. And 3 hours later, there's a Cat 5 hurricane there. You'd never hear the end of how insane that was. And it would destroy any place in the U.S. because most buildings, or at least most houses in the U.S., are built with wood. And it's all very third world. It's like sheetrock and wood and stuff. But here in Mexico, it's all concrete. So they survived it pretty well. But how upset would they be? How did no one know? And it'd be talked about still to this day, actually. And it wouldn't recover for probably years, mostly because of FEMA would make sure nothing got recovered. But here, free market, we mostly save the town. Most things are pretty back to normal. The nature has been incredible. If you remember 2 months ago, there was nothing green here at all. And now everything's green. So since my last walk and talk, I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, including one, just the last one with the Free Thought Project, where I talked about some of the details of how we ended up on Epstein's Island. And we're the only people to ever get kicked off of Epstein's Island. Most celebrities and politicians, they're very welcome there, but we weren't very welcome. They didn't want us to see anything, and we ended up having to run off. Just oddly quiet here.
Come on, golf carts, get the fuck.
What? Shit. There's people coming. Okay. People in golf carts behind us. Oh, I thought that was a real guy. We're almost to the boat dock. Bye-bye. But now it's kind of a big topic again, although not really. I was looking at my Twitter feed today. This is just a few days after the big drop of all the client list and all this stuff. And it's really almost nothing. And it's not even in the trending section, which might be on purpose. Because, of course, X is controlled. Well, the CEO of X is one of the top people at the World Economic Forum. So they pretty much scrubbed it pretty quickly. But A lot of people wouldn't have even known about that if it wasn't for the alternative media. I remember people were talking about that like 10 years ago. Luke Rudkowski was always talking about it. I think James Corbett also. I think the Free Thought Project as well. A long time ago. No one even had heard of it, but we had uncovered it. And now they have released some of the documents. And it's pretty funny, they had the Golden Globe Awards, which of course I watched because, you know, I'm a huge fan of award shows of Hollyweird. And they actually had Jim Gaffigan on, and he said this.
This is so exciting for me. The Golden Globes. I mean, I can't even believe I'm in the entertainment industry. I can't. It's so unlikely. I'm from a small town in Indiana. I'm not a pedophile. I don't know if that's a new category here.
I think Ricky Gervais was the host of that or the Oscars or something. He said something similar like just a year or two ago.
Talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this, okay?
It's kind of funny. They kind of like just joke about it. It's like, we're all pedophiles. No one seems to really care. It's quite amazing. But I did say that on the day, because everyone was talking about it. Well, not everyone. Hardly any normies, no NPCs. They don't know anything about it. Their feeds are all full of celebrity stuff, and they don't get all this stuff. But in my area, a lot of people were talking about it, and they're going to release the court documents. And I'd already been saying that we already have the flight logs. We already know a lot of it, but yeah, let's see if they release something new. And I think the biggest thing they released was Stephen Hawking was there.
Martillazo en el ano. Martillazo en el ano. Martillazo en el ano. Martillazo en el ano.
Which I think we already knew, and that's the thing that most people talked about, which is kind of funny because that's not Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking had Lou Gehrig's disease, they said, and definitely he had something wrong with him. You could tell by looking at him. Not the new guy, way back, decades ago. And the average lifespan of people diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease is 2 to 5 years, and he got diagnosed when he was like 20-something. He died, or someone died, and he probably didn't even die, at like 76 or something. But they've been rolling that guy around for years, saying that he was speaking about complex physical matters and science stuff with a straw, even though he could barely move and all he could do was grunt. But he could speak by tapping about Einstein's theory of relativity by just tapping on a little computer. This was like back in the 90s when they were doing this, a lot of this stuff. There was no stuff like that. And of course, it was just a CIA guy who would type it in and they'd say what this guy was saying, but people believed it was him. I don't know who that guy was, but he was a total mess, probably drugged up. But it wasn't Stephen Hawking's. It's just not possible, really. And the fact that they release this stuff and hardly anyone talks about it, it's not really trending anywhere. And one of the big things trending is people are all like, Stephen Hawking went to the pedophile island. It's like, it's not even him. Like, they're just throwing this out there to laugh at people. Even the whole Epstein thing is likely just a big show to kind of say to people, yeah, we do stuff like this, but they didn't really show a lot of the really bad stuff, like eating babies, killing babies, doing adrenochrome and stuff. They just mostly just said, oh, it was, you know, like younger girls. A lot of them weren't even that young, like 16, 17. Not to say that that's great, but it's mostly just a big show, I think, to kind of like let people know a little bit of the truth, but hardly anything. By the way, this is Julia, and she walks with me and Lucy every morning. We're actually out here this morning at 6 in the morning. Good to see you, Julia. Yeah, she's nice, you know. It's kind of, you stay away from her a little bit, but she also has her other friend. It's a cat, and they're all black and white, and I'm black and white, so I guess we're the same race, so I guess we should get along. But yeah, even when I went to Epstein's Island, we broke in. That temple is all just painted like a temple with like gates and stuff, but it's paint. This is all flat. This is just painted on. It's just painted on. This is all painted on. And I said soon after, it just looks like a Hollywood set, which I think for the most part it kind of was. And I think a lot of people were like, whoa, when they release the court documents, then things will really happen. It's like, no, they won't. No, it's not even like talked about really. Oh, here's the cat. So yeah, these are the three amigos we go walking with at like 6 in the morning. Lucy's hanging back. But he actually plays with the cat. The cat ran away there, but they're actually all friends. Hey, Julia, calm down. I see why the cat ran away. You're extra playful right now. Oh, here comes the cat. Yeah, they're playing. It's just playing around. These guys are lucky. They just started building this house, so they didn't have really any damage. It was just all concrete. But anyway, so I said that when on the day they release the documents, I can almost guarantee you that something pretty big will happen. Something big enough that it will be the lead story on the mainstream media news. And actually, there were two things that day. Not even 24 hours after the Epstein court documents was released, we have multiple victims who were shot at Perry High School in Perry, Iowa. Yeah, there's nothing like a school shooting to really get everyone all their attention on it, and it's always FBI. And this one looks just like it as well. They say it was an LGBTQ SIA2+ person who Associated Press, which is just the Rothschilds, that's their organization, as is Reuters. All the news comes from the Rothschilds, I don't know if you noticed, and The Economist magazine. But they were basically saying the person who did the shooting was the victim, because he, she, them had been bullied at the school. But anyway, that was the big news story that day, not any of this Epstein type stuff. And then I think it was pretty much the same day, a lot of people's attention was focused on Miami, where pretty much every police car in Miami all went to one mall where I don't know what happened, but they say there was a bunch of the usual type people, some dark-skinned people all fighting and robbing and looting and stuff. But there was a lot of speculation that people saw aliens there, which is rather interesting.
Did you guys see what was going on in Miami last night? The official story is that they were a group of juveniles who were fighting with sticks. But witness testimonials are saying there were aliens, like from outer space. 2024 psyops are about to get wild, y'all. Details are currently a little hazy and things may update after I post this, but apparently the police scanners were cut and all flights coming in and out of Miami were halted. I have been able to find a couple of first-hand testimonial reports on social media, but that's about it.
Shots start going off. So you know what I'm saying? Like we trying to follow the crowd, get out of here. I look back, no cap, yo. No cap. I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow. But it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time, and it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, so we start really moving. Next thing you know, we start hearing more gunshots, like these dudes start firing at this shit. Get outside, mad police, all that. You know what I'm saying? They start, the police is like trying to get all the people that ran out the mall. They like trying to detain these people, whatever. But you know, me and my girl, we ended up just, sliding past all that and everything like that. But, a lot of people saying, why didn't nobody film and all that? When that type of shit is going on, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, like some paranormal, nobody thinking about no phone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going survival mode. But for real, they lying, yo. All them officers and all that, they was not there because of no kids fighting. It was really some like movie shit going on in there, yo.
What do you guys think about this Day 5 2024 PSYOP?
Epstein court dogs dropped. Release the aliens in the mall. Walking with Epstein. Aliens. Yeah, more of the alien type stuff. Which I don't know if any of that stuff in the Apocalypse of Yajnavalkya is true, especially the part where they talk about how the Atlanteans will be coming back. And I should say that I've seen a lot of flat earth type people getting all up about it because it talks about the heliocentric model in the book. And actually the publisher, Chris, really believes in the heliocentric model. I actually, just so you know, I haven't seen enough evidence of either. And then when I get to the point where I'm like, well, none of this is real. Not even Lucy's real. This is all a big video game that is not real. It seems real because we've got the VR headsets on called our heads. And so yeah, is the Earth flat or round? It doesn't exist. How's that for an answer? None of it exists. You don't exist. I don't exist. But we're here having this conscious moment at the moment. But I don't know if the Atlanteans, and I should point out that I'm reading the book from a undecided on flat or a globe, and actually I don't really even care all that much. Watch out, cat. Watch out, Lucy. Got a car coming. The cat saw it. Get out of the way, Lucy. I'm pretty smart. I've done this before. Like we've been on about 1,000 walks like this. Always get into some trouble with some cats. And with Julia. She's pretty nice, though. Pretty nice. So, as I was reading it, I was kind of reading it from the point of view of, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, so this is taking a heliocentric model of things in the book. And it says that the Atlanteans were so evolved that they had telepathy, they could do all kinds of things, which I think we can do too, by the way. But we have to do serious work, which is what I'm talking about. I've been talking about for a long time. And so could it be that because according to that book, they left this Earth on spaceships and went to another planet? But that could also be described as going to another dimension. So I wouldn't be so quick to judge things on things you just don't know. But I don't know if they're coming back, and this says maybe by 2028 the Atlanteans are coming back. I'm just sort of noticing that they start talking about aliens a lot right now. And then this book's like, yeah, they're going to come back in spaceships in 2028. It's like, okay, well, that's interesting. Looking forward to all that. And then they release some of this Epstein docs, and they say there's an 10-foot tall aliens at the mall in Miami. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But like I said, I was not expecting much from this at all. At all. And here's the funny thing. Now the FBI is saying they really want to release the videos. Sure. Yeah, they really want to release the evidence that all their bosses are doing all these things.
Right.
But notice this all comes at a time where artificial intelligence and the videos, the deep fakes you can make, you can't really tell if it's real or not. Now they're going to be putting some of this stuff out, and of course, what will it be? It's like, is that real or fake? I don't know. That's the world we basically live in now. And that's fine with me. Like, I don't really care about any of this stuff. Because none of it's real. That's the point you got to get to, and then everything's just fun. But I did say I wasn't expecting much from this, and so far, I've been totally right on that. Like, there really hasn't been much. People who think Epstein clients will be prosecuted. There are politicians, royalty, and celebrities in the Epstein files. See, nobody cares. Yeah, Democrats don't care that Bill Clinton is a rapist. Yeah, half the people don't care because they think all that stuff's fine. And the other half think the government's there to protect them. And meanwhile, they just keep doing all this stuff. It's just incredible. But we've been talking for a while about how Epstein is most likely a Mossad agent. There's actually tons of evidence for it.
Well, it's worth saying, Alex just recently got unbanned. I mean, for years, the talk of Jeffrey Epstein was considered an Alex Jones conspiracy because he was one of the few people that was actually talking about this. So he definitely deserves credit as well. But my question, Alex, I mean, we're all trying to figure this out. And, you said this is a mix of intelligence agencies. But you go back through Epstein's history. The first person to give him a big job at Bear Stearns was Alan Greenberg, the chairman. Then Les Wexner, this Jewish Zionist billionaire, provided him with his apartment in Manhattan, was his only client for his hedge fund, seemed to provide him with all this funding. The first victim that came forward against Epstein, Maria Farmer, claimed that they all worked for the mega group, that this was part of a conspiracy of the mega group, that the people involved were Jewish supremacists.
They, honest to God, think their DNA is better than everybody else. I swear to you.
That they talked down to her as like a disgusting white woman.
You're nothing because you're not Jewish, you're stupid, you're useless, a useless white girl, a poor little peasant.
And she couldn't partake in certain things because she wasn't Jewish.
It's a Jewish country club. You're not Jewish. They're not going to serve you. Mommy, why do you call Maria a nobody? And she said, honey, Isabel, Maria is not a Jew. She is a nobody.
And you look at these people, I mean, Les Wexner was really the main person leading the mega group, which was a group of very powerful Jewish philanthropists that funded lots of pro-Israel causes. You had like Ronald Lauder in there, who's head of the World Jewish Congress. And, you said it's a mix of intelligence agencies, but I mean, we know Mossad engaged in this. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, I believe they had a lot of compromise in.
He was Mossad. He's given a Mossad burial in Mount of Olives, right? Look.
Yeah, but they also collected sexual blackmail on him as well.
Well, let's finish your point, because people accuse me of trying to shut you down when you talk about Zionists. Get it all out there, and I'll tell you all about what I know about the Zionists.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's just some of the connections. But, I mean, you look at it, Epstein was still meeting Ehud Barak after these accusations. They set up a company together. It was all former Unit 8200 Israeli intelligence officers. The kind of core problem here is you have this outside group that we aren't really able to or allowed to discuss without being name called, right? I mean, it's not anti-Italian to talk about the Italian mafia, but I mean, you look at this mega group and it's funding all these organizations and it's funding the ADL. Ronald Lauder, he's head of the World Jewish Congress. He was also doing fundraisers for the ADL, the same organization that silences anyone that talks about this. I mean, it seems like the major kind of problem here is that you have this outside entity, right? Because if you deal with that, then it's a lot easier to deal with the problems at home, right?
Well, I mean, I already said massage a huge part of this.
And so, once again, all this sort of pedophilia-related stuff tied to Israel, who's genociding people right now in Gaza in the most horrific of fashions. And look at a lot of people. They're like, well, you know, they've got a right to defend themselves. It's like, yeah, okay. Like this world, the people, most of them, not all, are so demented and evil and confused, and everything they think is true isn't true. It's unbelievable. I can't believe this video game. It's so amazing. It's so incredible. Like there's smells in the video game, there's emotions, there's other dimensions. You can fall in love. You can feel fear like you've never felt in your life. All in the video game. It's a total 5-star video game. But hardly anyone really enjoys it because they don't even know they're in it. But, you know, without the non-player characters, this video game would kind of suck. So you kind of need them. I said that a while ago during the COVIDs when, because I like watching hockey sometimes. And I was like, this is so lame without all the NPCs in the crowd going crazy when someone scores or when there's a fight. They add a lot, the NPCs. But you know, Kill's trying to kill them all. Kill Gates. And I'm fine with that too. See, I'm basically fine with basically everything. Because it's just a game. And it is. No matter how you think about it. If you do think about it, it's the only conclusion you can really come to. Like if you really sit down and think about it, meditate, you could say, it all becomes quite clear that this is just an experience and that we aren't actually the body or the mind.
It's just a ride.
Like it's so obvious and clear to me. And so why get wrapped up in any of this stuff? I mostly do these videos because I like going for walks. Especially on these hills. I gotta tell you, we brought the hard to push stroller, and I'm out here at 6 in the morning. I go up all these hills. The last hill, it's like I'm finishing a triathlon or something. Not that bad, but like my legs are burning. And I'm like, can I make it to the top? Because you can't really tell, but these hills, and I do like 3 or 4 like these hills, pushing the stroller up, which is like, the baby's like so heavy and big now. He wears 18-month-old to 2-year-old baby clothes, and he's 13 months old now. He's now walking all over the place. And then the little stroller wheels, it's got to be like 50 pounds I'm pushing. It's actually great exercise. And yeah, we just have a good time. We're always out here with Julia. Julia's like, I don't even know if she has like an owner or anything, but she's always out here, and she's really nice. And she's pretty nice. She's a little big. I just kind of, just watch out she doesn't step on me and stuff, but we get along just fine. We're both black and white, which means we're both half evil. Just like the Obamas say, you can't trust the white color.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
Yeah, and there's so much Jewish involvement in this Epstein stuff. First of all, Epstein is Jewish. I was thinking about this the other day. When you look up on the internet, because you can type in how many Christians are there in the world, how many Muslims are there, and you get various numbers, but it's like billion, and then you type in how many Jews are there, it's like 15 million. It's like less than what lives in New York City, but they're everywhere. It's quite incredible. And so many of the ones that call themselves that, which is just I think most of them just get the passport, which allows you to be a pedophile and live there. It's also got a 6-pointed star of Moloch on it. And with that, you're basically in one of the top clubs in the world, where you get pretty much anything you want if you adhere to their stuff. And even some people say Javier Milei in Argentina, he's just doing it because he knows if you don't do that, you can't be president and they'll kill you. So who knows? I can't read his mind, but he sure seems very pro-Israel, which maybe is smart on his behalf, at least as far as like not getting killed. But I would never do that. But yeah, you read into a lot of this Talmud stuff, which I've started to look into more and more. Man, a lot of the stuff in there is basically like we're the best, where God chose us, and anyone who's not us is worse than an animal, and they should all be killed. And they call everyone a goy, a goyim. And I've heard numerous sort of rabbi-type people talking about it. And the way they look at it is everyone else is worshiping a false idol, except for the Jews, which, well, I'm not a Christian or a Muslim or any of those things. I don't actually worship, although that word is interesting. I just know there's a one creator of all of this, and that thing is amazing. Like, obviously, if you can create this entire video game with your mind, you're pretty incredible, right? And that's about all I know. So, but I think they still think I'm a goyim because I don't have the Star of Moloch passport, or I don't wear the little hats. I didn't go to the synagogue and beg them to let me be one of them or something. So I need to either be killed or be their slaves. That's the other thing. There's two things goyim could be used for: to be slaves, or they should be killed because they are worshiping false idols, which actually most people do in the form of money. Money is the most worshiped thing on earth, which has been warned about everywhere in the Bible, everything. But most people just, that's the one thing. And how do you know if you're worshiping money? If you take money to go against what you think is right, then basically you're saying, this money is like God to me. I listen to this. I don't listen to what's right or, what I think is right. And how many people do that? So many. Like almost everybody in the world, not everyone in the world, but a lot, especially in the Western world. And look at the Jews too. Like, it's a very well-known sort of stereotype that Jews love money. And, a lot of the Jews in the old days, they were like the banksters. That's who Jesus got all mad at the temple, were the money changers, which were like the Jews back then. And then the Rothschilds, they said they were Jews. A lot of them aren't even Jews. They're from Khazaria. Well, anyone could be a Jew, I guess, right? But they're from Khazaria and they say they're Jews, but those are the kind of people who have been very involved in money and banking and stuff like that. And they seem to care a lot about money, like a lot. Seems to be one of the only things they really care about, money and power. But with money, you can get a lot of power because everyone else will sell their souls. That's how Bill Gates bought out everyone. Bill Gates is amazing. Someone's got to write a book about what an amazing guy he is. He's been just doing so many things. He's everywhere. He's chopping down trees. He's creating mosquitoes that are GMO'd. His new thing is he made a thing called Apeel, APEEL, which is full of toxic substances, and they put it on all the organic fruit and vegetables to keep it fresh. He's been behind putting out the lethal injection poisons to try to genocide everyone on Earth. Like, what an incredibly... I don't know how one man can do it all. Like, maybe he's been cloned. I don't know. But, there should be a book. It should be something like Bill Gates, the most productive person in history. Like, look at all the things he does. And they're all, like, super... It's all about killing people and destroying people and depopulating the Earth. It's just incredible. But speaking about useful goys, and there's so many of them, like Alex Jones is a perfect example. Here's Nathaniel Kapner explaining to real Alex Jones what a useful goy is.
Let me show you something. Warren Buffett donation tops 2023 list of largest charitables. This is Yahoo News, and it says he gave it to radical racial justice groups. So is Warren Buffett